Yeah. Speaking of growing concern, I don't know if you saw this, Brian, but you guys have got to get a load of this one. Here they go with the propaganda. Speaking of Western media, this was Fox News. Everyone check this out. This is hilarious.
Exclusive satellite images revealing the location of a previously unknown Iranian nuclear site. Now, the facility spans nearly 2,500 acres, and this is a big discovery. Jillian Turner has more from the State Department. Good morning, Jillian.
Pretty explosive, Dana. These satellite images that we have obtained exclusively show the alleged site location and even the layout of the secret, previously unknown nuclear weapons facilities inside Iran. This, of course, raises fresh concerns about the regime's role in these ongoing nuclear talks with the Trump administration. The National Council of Resistance of Iran has collected intelligence from sources on the ground inside Iran that locate this nuclear weapons facility in what is called Semnan province, far from the regime's already known nuclear sites. It's codenamed the Rainbow Site by Iran's officials, and it spans nearly 2,500 acres. It's been operating as far as we can discern.
So, luckily, Brian, a number of people online have been laughing at that news clip and making fun of it because it takes us back to the war with Iraq, right? Like they said, we have these secret nuclear sites of Iran that we just happen to find. What is your perspective about that?
Well, the organization that they cited is actually the Mujahideen al-Khaliq, which for the longest time was a U.S. State Department listed terrorist organization. And they only recently took it off the list specifically so they could use it to destabilize, attack and destabilize Iran. Nothing that they produce is of any credibility at all. It is an absolute joke. The organization itself is, admittedly, if you go to the Senate hearings where they were talking about this, they say how difficult it would be to sell this organization, wider support for this organization because it's a cult. They're abusive. They have killed Americans in the past. And yet these are the people they're not only using as proxies against Iran, but this is who the source of this information actually is. And then when they talk about satellite images, this is a photograph taken from outer space. If that's the closest you can get to showing us evidence of anything, then you don't actually have evidence. And of course, you bring up the most important point of all. The US has lied repeatedly, deliberately, to predicate their wars of aggression all across the region to Iran's east and west. They invaded Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria. They destroyed Libya in North Africa. They've done this over and over and over again. We're supposed to believe this is the first time they're telling the truth. Also, you just mentioned earlier on the show about President Trump being asked about his director of national intelligence saying there are no nuclear weapons in Iran. He said, "I don't care what she said." And that's a brief moment of honesty. Because that is the reality. They don't care what the truth is. They want this war. They have been preparing for it for the entire 21st century. You just think about step by step by step, how they moved the military into the region, isolated Iran from its allies, destabilized the whole region, and shaped everything for this very moment. We remember the U.S. finally toppling the Syrian government late last year. And the first thing the U.S. and Israel did was wipe out all of Syria's integrated air defense systems. And this was to clear a corridor to carry out these specific attacks. So this was all planned. They're going to do this no matter what, regardless of whatever evidence they have. And of course, they're going to fabricate it, hoping that there's enough weak-minded people out there willing to buy it once again.